On the docket tonight, the disappearance of the Cal City Toddlers. Their adoptive parents now facing murder charges. Our great affiliate out in Bakersfield, California, KERO, has a look at the timeline of this case.
Where are the boys? Where are the boys? Where are the boys? Where are the boys?
It was December 21st, 2020. Orrin and Orson West, also known as Classic and Sincere, were first reported missing in California City by their adoptive parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West. Days after that time, the West parents telling 23 ABC they understand that people would accuse them of the disappearance.
And that's understandable.
What's your response to that?
That's understandable. I would think the same thing.
And the Cal City Police Chief John Walker assuring the community his department was looking for clues day in and day out at the start of the investigation.
We're just trying to dig up anything, any clues that we can possibly find to find out where they had gone and also to confirm that they're not in the backyard.
The disappearance prompting a massive search effort involving not only Cal City Police, but the Bakersfield Police Department, the FBI, and the community. Then month after month, the community rallied together for searches, marches, and vigils, all to find the boys.
Where are the boys? No boys, no beats! Where are the boys? No boys, no beats!
And reward money for information and the return of the boys continued to grow in 2021 as local businesses, community members, and a private investigator joined the search efforts for the boys.
There was some elements that stood out about the foster families' interviews that pretty much compelled me to participate and come out and do what we could to help find both of these boys.
Billboards with the boys' faces and the rewards started to appear in February 2021 in Kern County. But after 8 weeks, Cal City Police confirmed they have no suspects in the case. In March 1st, 2021, the Bakersfield Police Department officially took over the case. They continued the search in Cal City and Southeast Bakersfield for the boys, issuing a search warrant to the adoptive grandparents and more than 20 more search warrants in the case. It wasn't until June 2021 BPD gave an update on the case, announcing 170 items have been seized, 83 individuals have been interviewed, 44 search warrants have been conducted, 16 mass area searches have been done, 3 searches outside of California, and 200 plus tips have been received and followed up on. But still, the boys have not been located. Then month after month, the community continued to come together with prayer vigils and hoping for answers for the boys. But December, nearly 1 year after they were first reported missing, BPD provided an update saying since June, they executed 4 more search warrants, interviewed 33 more people, conducted 11 mass area searches, and 4 out-of-state searches. During the 1-year anniversary, we spoke to the biological family who said they just want answers.
Some kind of answers. It's been a year. We deserve something.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's only right.
Orson's biological father saying regardless of the circumstances, he will always be here for the boys.
I still got them. They should know that I still love them, that I'm always going to have their backs regardless of the fact those are my kids. Like, you know, that's something that you'll miss in life that you can never get back.
Now, just 14 months after they were first reported missing, the Kern County grand jury indicted the adoptive parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West, for the murder of Orrin and Orson West. They were arrested March 1st around 7 p.m. near Highway 58 in Enos Lane. Kern County District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer announcing the investigation unveils that the boys are dead. But Zimmer added that the bodies have not been found, and now the family is still searching for answers.
The question is now, where are the boys' bodies? We want to be able to bring them home and, give them a proper burial.
This is incredibly tragic, but you look at that timeline that was laid out so well by KERO. You've got prosecutors saying the boys were murdered in September of 2020. They're not reported missing until 3 months later by the mother and father, who say that day it happened. I was with them and then they were gone. This is the easiest case in the world for these parents to win if they're innocent. Let me bring back in the think tank, Eklund Mercy, Nima Rahmani, Kirk Nurmi. Eklund, this is the easiest case in the world to win if you're actually factually innocent. All you have to do is demonstrate some little piece of proof of life for 2 toddlers at some point during the 3 months. Because prosecutors have a very specific theory about when they were murdered. You're saying they disappeared in December. Show me a photo. Do you have a cell phone? Do you take pictures of your kids like every other parent in the world? Did someone see them? Are they on some surveillance? Come on, Eklund. If they're innocent, this is easy to prove.
Unfortunately, they don't have to prove anything. That's the prosecutor's job, and the prosecutor has to prove that there's no. Yes, it's corpus delicti. We need to have the proof that there are bodies, and we don't have a body. We have a whole bunch of nothing going nowhere. And the fact that, yes, we have the parents, the adopted parents, but understand that human trafficking is still real. People can still kidnap people. The boys could be lured somewhere else. There's a whole host of things that can happen. Sometimes if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And we see that often with law enforcement. If you focus on the parents, you're just going to focus on the parents. It could be something completely different. So if I was defense, I'd throw it up. It's a cloud of reasonable doubt because we do not have a body.
Nima, all I have to do is go to my phone here. If I need to prove that any of my kids have been alive the last 3 years or my granddaughter, I've got a picture every day of my granddaughter. Every day. Come on. Who in 2020 is not just snapping pictures? And those two kids are so cute. Who would not be taking pictures of them all day long? Give me a break. I mean, this is an easy case to win if you're innocent.
Oh, very easy, but they're not innocent. And Vinny, you're a good father, you're a good grandfather, and you end every show with hug the kids, right? These parents did not hug the kids. They didn't report them missing for 3 months. And look, the DA hasn't been very forthcoming, but there's two very important pieces of information that we have. That they've been missing since September. They were reported missing in December. So you got 3 months there. That's not normal parent behavior. Adopted, biological, doesn't matter. And most importantly, the DA said that they are dead. They're not trafficked. So I don't know where the bodies are, but they've come out and they've said these two things very specifically. This is an elected official. I don't believe that she has any reason to lie. So assuming those two facts to be true, these parents are going to be convicted, Vinny.
Kirk, I mean, I look at this case. If I'm putting myself in the shoes of a criminal defense attorney. Like, I sit down with the parents. I say, listen, just show me one picture. Just show me one picture. One picture from October. Trick-or-treating. I know that was COVID, right? But, like, did you dress up for Halloween? Did you take a picture of the kids? Something, Kirk. It should be so easy to prove that two children were alive at some point during a 3-month period.
No, I agree. I mean, if the burden was on the defendant, you're right. They could easily be able to pick up their cell phone or some other data, some school records, what have you, and go in and say, this is not correct. What's interesting to me, and Nima touched on this a little bit, is this day in September, what is the state's evidence that demonstrates that this is a specific day of death? Is that completely conclusory? And that's what the defense attorneys are also looking at. But I think with the other thing we're talking about here, when we talk about the mystery that surrounds this case in these 3 months, what have you, is the idea that with that kind of discrepancy or that lack of insight into what happened, I think the prosecutors can be well served to try to offer both parties, in this case, a plea agreement, and there should be a race to the prosecutor's office to sign a plea agreement to really give the inside story to convict the other person.
Yeah, the other part of this, Eklund, that I don't understand. I mean, they're a young couple. They've got all these kids. Like, why are you adopting all these children? Like, if you're not going to take care of them, that's fine. Like, they have their own biological children. They adopted another child as well. Just like, that's it. Just say, okay, we can't handle it. I get it. It's not easy. 2 young people. I couldn't have handled 6 kids at that. No way, right? And they don't have it doesn't look like they have a ton of money either to get help and nannies and all this. I mean, 2 young people, 6 kids, that's a recipe for disaster. But why would they adopt them? Why would they adopt these kids? Let someone else take them in.
Unfortunately, I used to be, not unfortunately, I used to be a guardian ad litem, and we see courts and, counties give more money to foster parents than to struggling parents. So you know, we have people who, we have great foster parents who provide great homes, and then we have the other. And not everybody is great, not everybody's wonderful. You're not going to get the Partridge Family in each scenario, and I think that this was it. Not a lot of the foster parents are only supposed to, their basic bare minimum is that the child does not die and is not abused, and sometimes that isn't even, you know, that's a thing. So we have bad people sometimes, and this seems like one of the cases.
All right, take a look, folks, on the screen. We've got a readiness hearing July 15th, and then there's a trial date of July 25th. I mean, on the 15th, we'll find out if everybody's ready to go, but if so, this trial, July 25th,